Well, hello everyone and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I wanted to, in the lead up to the Hobonichi sale starting on the 1st of September, I wanted to just go through all of my things and just show you, show you what I have, but also maybe just explain some of the differences, give you flip throughs of the different types of books, and talk through how I feel about some of the covers and things as well. So there's a couple of Hobonichis that I don't own. I don't have the Day Freeze, but I think I've got everything else. So I'm going to clear this out and just figure out where to start. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay, let's start with the Hobonichi Weeks. So I have 3 of them here with me, and as you can see, one is in this cover. I'll come back to the cover in a minute. But I do have 3 pink ones, 2021 and then 2 for 2022. They all are in one of the cover on covers. So this one is the Eric cover on cover. I'll just take it out so you can see what that means. So I do have this beautiful pink Hobonichi Weeks. It's like a fabric-y kind of cover, and yeah, it's really lovely hardcover, but it does pretty much lay flat. So in fact it does lay flat. And then you can get the cover on cover to go over that and you know, give it a bit of something different, but also has some pockets, and this one has the Eric pattern on it, which is by Sean Tan, an artist here in Australia actually. Let's take that card out of there. So yes, it just gives you that little something extra. There was also a pen loop on here, but it has torn off. I just did actually try to stick it on with some Coffee Monsters Co. washi tape, but it did come off. But I'll show you, this one does have the pen loop still attached, but we'll come back to that. So our Hobonichi Weeks is such a good planner, such a great size, and I'm in this one this year and I use it every single day. Not for planning though. I'll just show you what it looks like inside. So it almost always has this Hobonichi pattern in the background. It comes with a sticky pocket that you can add. I've torn mine a little bit. You can put it anywhere, but I feel like this is the best spot for it. If you put it here and then put it inside of a cover, then you can't use it. So I learned that the hard way. Okay, so inside the front cover, we just have our Hobonichi Techo 2021 Weeks. And then we have the 2021 calendar, and then 2020 and 2022 as well. Now this is all in Japanese, but in 2023 they are making an English version of the weeks, which I will be getting. So that's exciting. We then have this yearly overview, which people use for all different sorts of things. I used it here in 2021. I was working from home a lot because of well, everyone knows why, we were working from home. So I was just tracking what days I did actually go into the office. There weren't many, but there were a few days here and there. So I needed to know that for tax reasons, mainly. So I just thought I would use it for that. It's probably the most I've used this section in one of these in a very long time. Our monthly spread just looks like this. It's quite small, so that's one thing to keep in mind, is that the squares are quite small, but if you have small writing you can fit quite a bit in here. I'm not sure if I ever used the months in this one, but I did in one of the others, so I'll take a look and see. Oh, here's one that I had a play with some stickers and things for Halloween. They're not really Halloween stickers, but I just enjoyed chucking them in here. It was very cute. I think I did this on a planner day actually, but you can see the handwriting is small enough that you can actually use it quite functionally if you need to. So after the monthlies, which go till March of the following year, we then move into the weeklies. But I'm just going to skip to an unused week because this was a work planner at the time, so I can't really show you what was in there. So if I go to the week of the 6th of September, I didn't use it in that week. So you can see we have Monday through Sunday down the side here, horizontal boxes if you like. So you can see there, I don't know if you can see, but there are these tiny dots here and here, just there to give you this divided in 3. So a simple way to divide this box in 3 if you wanted to. So you could do appointments, key events, like if it's birthdays or whatever, and weather, meals, all that sort of thing. And then on the right hand page, or the memo page, we just have a square grid but it does have a divider here as well that allows you to add something else into this section. And because it's Tomoe River paper, you can see the next page lines as well, which are these ones in here. So you can easily rule across if you wanted to just fill that whole section as well, which is pretty cool. At the bottom of each page is a quote in Japanese, but again, in next year's version, there'll also be English quotes in the English version of this planner. And right at the back, at the end of the planning section, is a notes section. Looks like this. You can have an index here if you wanted to, and I'll just skip again to a blank page. This one is torn out a little bit because I have a friend who wanted to try the paper, so I've just cut some paper out to send to her. But basically it is just the memo page repeated mostly. It just has the line down the side here to divide this section on the left, and then just a square grid. Right at the back, the very back, we have a lot of pages in Japanese. I'll just show you briefly what these are. I did test some pens out in here. We have all sorts of stuff in the back here, which I believe is going to be English in the next one. Posture here. So just lots of cute stuff about Japan, about Hobonichis, about whatever in the back here. And then they do have the My 100, which I think is in every one of their planners. And it gives just you a list of 100 things you could put in there if you wanted to. They all have a tick box on them. So yeah, lots of things to put in there. I've never quite figured out what I want to use it for. So, all right, that's my 2021 weeks. So you can also get these zippered covers for your weeks as well. And this one is a Hobonichi cover. It's, I believe, still available on the website, or at least versions of this fabric are available. It is a beautiful cover. It's Mina Pahonen cover. It has her signature little butterfly on the leather pull here, and that is leather, and inside is also leather, and it's this beautiful blush pink color. And this was one of the factors for me buying this particular cover, was this beautiful pink inside, because I feel like you see the inside of the cover more than you see the outside if you're using it all the time. So this one is a different pink. You can see this one is quite an orangey pink, and this one is a more cool toned pink. 2022 here in white, whereas on here it was in red. It is the same fabric cover as this one, and I think that's my favorite style. I'm not sure, I'm still deciding. And then I have this Desenka clear cover on this one. And I've got this little magnetic clip from the Powder World, just for fun. So inside the front cover, I'll give you a bit of a better look at the cover on cover this time. It does have a card slot here that you can put business cards, stickers, or whatever in. And it also has this little loop. I'm not going to pop it out because I never have. I mean, I have, but I don't want to in this one. You can pop that out and use it as a page marker, so you can kind of hold down what page you're onto, and like a page bookmark kind of thing. Here's my pocket here that came with it. So remember, this comes with the Hobonichi Weeks, and I just decided to decorate this in kind of a cutesy style, and then the rest of the planner is not cutesy at all. So I'm not quite sure what I was thinking there. I added a pocket here from May Paper Co. and this gorgeous little washi card just for deco, really. And yeah, you can see the cover is the same inside, and then the rest of this book is exactly the same as last year's. There's no difference between the 2022 and 2021. The difference for me is just simply how I've decorated it. So as you can see, I didn't use this at all, and I did set up the monthlies in this one, had a bit of fun with them, and I did fall off the bandwagon, I think, pretty soon. So April, May, and yeah, June I didn't decorate, and July and August as well. So maybe I will go back and do those. I'm not really sure. So again, after the monthlies, we move into the weeklies. So I will show you this page, but this is how I kept most of the deco in here, I think. We'll have a quick flip and have a look, but just a little bit of washi tape, something to decorate with, And I did use this at the beginning. I've got appointments here, and then I've got some notes about how I was feeling. On this side, I had to-do list. I also had video movies that I was watching. It was Christmas, you know, end of the year. So I watched a lot of Christmas movies in there. And that's how I used it for a little while. I won't go through it so this is a super personal planner. I will show you some of the deco very briefly on the sides here. But eventually I turned it into a book where there was no more deco. And it just became pages and pages of writing. So that's all this has become, is a daily journal, and it just gives you just that little bit of space to journal in, which is kind of perfect, and then you can use this side for other things if you want to. I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen next year, and I'll talk about that a bit more in a second. But yeah, let's see. What I love about it is that it gives you this tiny bit of space, which means you don't have to think of lots of things to write. And if you have more to write, then you can write on this side. So it kind of gives you that nice option of either writing tons or just a little bit. And even just lettering a word in there, if you were super tired that day, you could just write the word tired in big letters and that's done. So super easy to keep on top of, which is always helpful in a planner. Oh, there's my movie ticket for seeing Top Gun with my bestie in Brisbane. Alright, so in the back of this cover there are also these card slots. So I really feel like I totally underutilized this cover. The planner has lived in here the entire year so far. It's August now, end of August now, and I've had no issue with it. I quite like that you can sit on the couch and just hold it like this and I can write in it. It's very good size because it kind of just fits your hand really well and gives you that support to write on. That's very handy for me. On its own, it's okay as well, so it's not that dramatic, but having the cover is, I don't know, it's beautiful. Like, it's really pretty, especially the inside, but I'm not sure I need it. I'm not sure I need my weeks to live in a cover, so I'm still thinking about that. Just as an aside, this is a Uni 1 pen and I love this pen so much. It's fantastic. Okay, so that's the zippered cover, and Hobonichi don't do any weeks covers that aren't zippers from my memory. Alright, this is also a 2022 cover, and I have a patterned cover on this one, and I also have this little yellow elastic here holding the cover closed. So this is one of their little tools, a Hobonichi tool, and it's this page keeper. So it's just this bit of plastic. I've covered it with washi tape, but it's just this bit of plastic that obviously just sits in this cover. Leave the elastic outside of that pocket, and it allows you to keep your cover closed, but it also allows you to just hold a page as well. Like if you were wanting to write on that page or keep that page bookmarked, you could easily do that. So this planner, I'm going to take it out of the cover on cover. Oh, I love this so much. I just love this book so much. So I'm going to take it out because I want to show you the difference. So here's what it looks like with the cover on top of the Weeks itself. But look how pretty this is without the cover as well. It's just a beautiful little planner. This design is called Bow and Tie, where it has this, like there's something underneath here that's raising that fabric and it's a slightly different color. So it just gives it this kind of striped look, and I really loved these little masks. I just loved this book. I didn't purchase this one up front. I had the pink one, but I added this later. I think a friend of mine was doing an order, or maybe I was just doing another one because I've done so many. And I really wanted to get this, so I did. And my intention was to use it as a social media planner, and I did not. But let me show you what I did do. So I have this pencil board. It's a Doraemon one. I just adore Doraemon so much, and I love this. I love this pencil board. I don't really use it though. The point of a pencil board is to give your page something to sit on so that it's easy to write on, support your writing, but also to minimize the amount of indentation in the paper and the paper underneath as well, so the next page. but I really like the indentations. I'm one of the people who adores Tomoe River paper because of the crinkliness. Absolutely love the crinkliness. Not everyone does, but I am obsessed. So I'm also obsessed with this setup. I decided when I no longer used this as a social media planner, I decided instead to just have fun creatively in here. So I've just filled it with kind of collagey kind of stuff, and I just adore it. If you're interested in where anything's from, just ask me. I'm probably not going to just tell you because there's so much in here and there's so many different shops that I like to support. But this is a little envelope with some stamps, some more of these stamps in it. Some handmade paper here. Just the textures. I wanted to make this textural and collagey and pink and full of quotes and just have fun in here. So I decorated some of the months. I'm not sure if I did them all. I can't remember. No, I stopped again. Didn't go any further from June. June became a bit of a nightmare at work, I have to say. So a lot of things fell off the bandwagon in June. Alright, so I just love vellum so much, and these are all vellum pieces. This is just some cardstock in the back, just some pattern paper actually, from a Kmart book I think. So I just decided to go through here, and if I found a quote that I liked, I would give it a go at lettering, even though it's not very pretty lettering, but so what, it's my book. My Powder World stuff, I added vellum and papers to here. Spare pages, totally fine. I can go back and fill them in anytime. Obviously I'm not caring about dates in this book. I just love the size. It's a really cute size to muck about in, and having this kind of portrait style layout is super interesting as well, because most books are A5, A6, you know, that have that more squarer kind of style, whereas this kind of portrait look really just makes me happy. It just gives you something a little bit different to play with and a different perspective, if you like. And a lot of times you have scraps that are kind of tall and skinny because you've had to tear it off the side of something. So why not use that? I just love this page. It's random and messy, but I adore this page because it's got all these cute little scraps and things. I just love it. So here's one of my favorites as well. This is paper from a bunch of flowers that I received. And of course my Peon Girls are in here all the time. Here's a piece of washi that came on a box from Fave Things Collective. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous washi. I actually want to buy the roll if I can find it. I had a go at setting it up for an actual week's spread, but obviously didn't do anything with it after that. And I think that's all that's in here for now. Yeah, so that's back in April, but you saw a bunch of missing pages, but it doesn't matter. This is going to stick with me next year. The 2022 doesn't matter. The dates don't matter. It's just going to be a place for me to have a play with all the kind of vellums and things that I buy, or the freebies that the very kind shop owners release, and just have a play with bits and pieces. Leftovers. It's such a tiny thing that leftovers fit really well in here as well. So incredibly fun little journal, this one. You can just... so tiny, you can just take it with you anywhere, and it doesn't take long to do a spread. It's super, super fun. So that's the Hobonichi Weeks. If you're interested in the weeks, there's a ton of them available this year. A ton of cute styles and patterns and colours, just so much to choose from. I have a few of them in my cart, and I have to choose which one to buy if I'm going to buy one. I'm still not sure if I'm going to get one for next year. So I'm hoping that by doing this video, you guys are helping me decide what I want to do next year. Okay, that's the weeks. Let's move on to A6. Okay, so here's my collection of A6 planners, journals, and covers. Oh my goodness, this is my favorite size. I'm pretty sure this is my favorite size. I'm really not absolutely certain, but I'm pretty sure. So I might just start with this cover. This is really when I absolutely, completely and utterly fell in love with Hobonichi. I was already there, but this just tipped me that one little step further to obsession. I adore this cover. I've added this Pen Gems charm, this heart charm here, but the rest of it, the ribbon and everything, is part of the cover. I've moved out of it because it's become too full with what I had in here. I'm also, you know, I don't want anything to happen to this fabric, so I haven't taken it out really, just to planner days and things, but it has a full leather interior. This is an expensive cover, and it was a planned purchase. I saved up for it and bought it. I just loved it. So it has a massive pocket in the back that you can chuck ephemera and stuff in. It has a pocket here, they call it a hidden pocket here, this mesh one that you can access under this flap. It has a good sized pen loop. You place your book in here and you can put the front cover of the book in here as well. And then a ton of pockets on the side here too. And there's a pocket here for you to put stuff in as well. So tons of pockets, really cool, love it. But being a zip, it can, if you get chunky, then it won't close anymore. And that's kind of where I got to with my journal. So I'll show you that next. I moved out of this and I moved into this one. So this one is a 5-year cover. So it's actually designed for the 5-year Hobonichi, which I'll show you in a minute. I do have one. But because my A6 became so chunky, in fact, let me show you another A6. So this is what an A6 size should look like. This one is a bit chunky as well because it does have stickers in it, but it's much skinnier than this one, as you can hopefully see there. But, you know, I've added so much stuff to this that it's become super chunky. So I decided to pop it in this 5-year cover. It's not the best option in hindsight because it slips around a bit. These covers are made to be quite roomy because the 5-year journal is quite a bit bigger than this one. So this is the Hobonichi Techo. This is the English planner. This one is a little bit mutated because I have chunked it up so much. I've filled it here to, let's see what day this is. This is July 5, so it is literally half the year. And I was not so chunky in the beginning, but you can see I really just went to town. I absolutely fell in love with this book. So I just told myself that I wasn't going to buy one for 2023 because this one still has a few empty pages. But then I started to fill the empty pages just by having fun, and the size is so perfect for me. I just love this size that I'm pretty sure I decided I'm getting one. So creative journal is what it became. It started out as a normal journal. And then when I started doing that in the weeks instead, I started just doing creative stuff in here. So you can see I've added some washi tape here from a Bloomsicle, a shop here in Australia. It's just beautiful washi tape. I didn't originally because the front cover was inside of the flap in here, so I didn't need to see it. And I've actually come to love the black cover. I wasn't so keen on it in the beginning, but I just think it looks gorgeous in here amongst all this paleness, and I just love it. Anyway, so I covered the inside with washi tape, as you can see, Coffee Monsters Co. addiction happening here, and I decided to do a pink and red version in the back. And then let's have a look inside the book. So normal title page, Hobonichi Techo 2022 planner. We have 2022 and 2023 in here, and you can see, hopefully you can see that is all in English. I haven't really done anything with this page, like I haven't decorated it anyway, but this is a journal, so I haven't really needed to do anything in here. I started to use this as a tracker. Yeah, I kind of gave up in April, as you can see, so it's not important. Tracking is not that important to me at this point. And then I did decorate some of the months, and what I was doing in here was just adding an emoji a day to signify how I felt about the day. And I loved doing this so much, but I got to the point where I started forgetting, you know, I would be a bit behind, and here we are in April and it's now August, so this is where I stopped. I just kind of fell behind, and there's no reason why I can't go back and fill this in, but I don't really see the point at this stage because I'm like months behind. So I'll probably leave the months and not worry about them. So again, the months go to the March of the following year, just like the weeks does. And then we have this turning the page to a new year spread, and it's 2 grid pages. My plan was to fill my intentions for the year in here, and just in previous years I did write a letter to myself and put it in here. And actually I've just remembered I haven't included the previous year's journal, I don't think, in this lineup. I thought I'd grabbed everything, but I might be missing one. I might have hidden it away because it's kind of personal. Anyway, we'll see in a second. So my plan for this one was to decorate this coming up page, which is in the front of every month, using the Coffee Monsters Co. Calendars that she sold last year, and then write about my day. And I kind of kept it like this kind of layout for a little while. I'm not going to go into the rest because, I mean, I will, but not the first couple of pages. So a lot of that was like that. I did a super sad hormone day. You know, all sorts of things in here. And then I ended up, this was a super lovely day. I had a bit of fun with stamping and ink blending in there. I journaled teeny tiny bits about Happy Mail that I got. And then I moved into, where can I show you from? And then I started doing a little bit of this kind of creative journaling kind of style. This is some wrapping paper, tissue paper from Washi Gang. This is the packaging that came from Tokubetsu Momori. I journaled a little bit about that. Here's the March intro page. Again, this is some journaling about an event that I ran and the little Instagram post that I made about it. I like to layer washi in my journals. I just love doing that. And then, you know, just stuff that happened, and I started doing this collage-y kind of stuff. It starts out quite simple. Oh, I love this spread with all of this MT tape. It's just beautiful. Thanks to my friend Trish for that, and for the flowers that she made as well. I did Day in the Life with Ellie Edwards, so a couple of my favourite photos from there. We went to Charlotte's first birthday party this day, so I covered it in clean colour dot pens. And I made this little card at Planner Day with Trish, so I popped it in there. A couple of blank pages, I'll go back to those, no problem. Here's some washi paper. And I just love layering vellum over anything. I just think it makes it gorgeous. Then I did a week of journaling, a collab with Charmaine, and I'll link her video below as well. And this is kind of where I really fell into my groove with this kind of stuff. So that's what I've been using this for, favourite spread. That's what I've been using it for since then. I've just been throwing in cute things. Love this quote. Your handwriting, the way you walk, which china pattern you choose, it's all giving you away. Everything you do shows your hand. Everything is a self-portrait. Everything is a diary. I just think that's super appropriate for what we do here in this. Okay, so then here's some art journaling spreads that I did for Luscious Labels at an event. That was good fun as well. These are super pretty. And then this is a recent video that I did about some Happy Mail that I received from the lovely Simone. And also, oh, I love this so much. And also some, this is a package from a packaging from a cup that I bought. There's a receipt in here from Monday the 8th of August, and it's here on the 16th of April. I don't care, that doesn't bother me. There's a PR team that I'm on, me attempting to draw something which did not work at all. Bunch of empty pages. So at the beginning, when we have our yearly layout and we have our yearly kind of tracker section and then our monthlies, After that, it goes straight into these dailies. So there's no weeklies in here, it's just dailies in the A6 version. Again, this is the English version, so I get English quotes here and everything is in English. The grid here is slightly bigger than in the Japanese version of this book. So in the Japanese version, the grid is 3.8 millimeters. In here, it's 4. So it doesn't seem like much, but it actually is quite different to write on. That tiny little bit smaller. I think I prefer the smaller grid in a way, but this is, I like that it's in English, you know, I like the quotes. I often incorporate the quotes into my spread. So the A6 planner is a daily planner. There are no weeklies in here. It's these daily layouts that have just 12 noon here. It has a knife and fork here for if you want to put meals in. It has the moon phases, and that's it. So totally open. You can make columns in here. You can do to-do lists. You could do notes from meetings, whatever you wanted. This is completely customizable to do whatever you want. And that's one of the reasons I just love it. I have random things in here that happened on the actual day. So I made this flower on the 29th of May, so I popped it in there. And then I did this first kind of art journaling kind of spread that I just loved, and then after that I've done a few more bits and pieces in here. This is a photo that I found, so I just kind of journaled about it a little bit, and then since then I've just put some stuff in here, just random stuff that happened. I bought a new SodaStream machine because mine died. And then what else do we have? Oh, the meal that I had, and kind of a weird experience that happened in trying to get it. Me just playing with some designs that I saw on Instagram that I really liked. A happy mail that I received, and then the week of COVID. So I got COVID, so I took a photo every day in my pajamas. And talked about what I watched that day or how I felt or what I was doing. And I thought that was just a cute way to document a week of COVID. I fell over. I didn't do the 14th and 15th, which were my last 2 days of isolation. I have some photos from there, so I probably will go back and do it. But, you know, that was just a silly thing to do, but also a memory that I'd kind of like to keep. So, yeah, loving it. It's funny because the new Hobonichis are coming out next week. So I kind of think, oh, I've got so much left in this one, why would I buy a new one? But I still have this much left of the year as well. It's kind of sad in a way that they come out so early in the year, in September, because I really want to just jump into a new planner. Who doesn't want to use a new planner as soon as you get it? But it is what it is. I'm going to finish this one off, but I really think I will get another A6 for next year because I do love the size. I just haven't quite decided. I'm still working that out, and I'm writing about that in a notebook, of course, to decide what I'm going to do. So that is the A6 planner, and in this case I have it in the Hobonichi 5-year cover, but let me show you what the 5-year looks like, and then I'll show you another couple of books as well. So this is my 5-year journal, and I did not use it. So this is the pen that came in 2019, a pinkish version. It's my favorite of all the Hobonichi pens. This cover is called the Blossom cover. It's a kind of a gift pack cover that they have for a few years. I think there's 2 more years left of this cover, and then they'll be replacing it with a different one. It's kind of a linen fabric with embroidery. And then my 5-year is in here. I'm going to take it out so you can see what the 5-year looks like. Let's look at the cover first. So it has this beautiful pink tassel on this braided cord, and just the linen flaps to hold the book, and a tiny pen loop that is used for the clip of your pen. Your pens don't actually fit in there, but the clip fits perfectly. Nothing on the back, and then just this embroidery on the front. It's a super simple cover, but it does what it needs to do just perfectly, and that is to house this 5-year journal. This was the pencil board that came with the cover. It's very pretty. And then this is the journal. So you can see the journal doesn't actually need a cover. It is perfect on its own. It's this kind of faux leather cover, and I got the 2021 to 2025. I thought it was nice and fitting to have a 1 to 5 journal, but it was COVID, and let me show you what the book looks like, and we'll talk about it when I get there. So it just has Hobonichi Techo 21 to 25 on the front. It has all of the calendars in case you need them. And then it has the, very simple, the 1st of January, and then 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. I had this idea to write where I was at the time, what the high and low temperatures were, a little bit about what happened, and then on this side I was writing the word of the year, lettering it in some way, and then writing the meaning as well. Now I kind of did that for a while, and then we got into serious kind of COVID stuff, and I started recording the active cases, how many new, and what the and total deaths as well. And it just became a bit grim, you know. And also, what really stopped me, I'll just flick, I think, and show you, because it is kind of personal journaling. So, you know, there's a fair bit in here for that first year. We kind of stopped. So here you can see I've got the active cases, where I was, and the temperature. But I didn't write anything. I think I came back and wrote some later, maybe. Actually, maybe I didn't. No, that's the end. Oh yes, here we go. I did back in August in 2021. I started adding some more. But really what happened was I started journaling in the Hobonichi Weeks. So, you know, I started journaling in this one. So I found myself doubling up between that one and this one, and kind of what was the point in having both. I really love the idea of having it in a 5-year. Like having my journaling in a 5-year. So when I said before I'm not sure what to do about my weeks next year, I think I'm going to not journal in the weeks, and I'm just going to journal in here. That way it is captured, and it gives me the opportunity to capture the following years as well. It's going to be 2023, and I cannot use this book because it's got so much empty in it. My brain won't let me. So I'm going to buy another one. I'm going to just put this one to the side. Maybe we can use it for creative journaling at some point if we wanted to, because the cover is beautiful. It's a really lovely book, but I just can't use it as a continuing journal for 5 years when it's got so much emptiness in it. And there's only these 3 years left. I just can't. It doesn't make sense to me. So, wish me luck. The 5-year journal is notoriously hard to keep up with. Some people are very good at it, but in some cases it's very difficult. You know, it's a habit to have to get into every day to journal about your day. But the idea of seeing how your days change over 5 years and your life changes over 5 years, I just love that concept. And I did it in a little Kiki K diary many years ago. It was a 3-year one, I think, and I really enjoyed it. It was prompted though. Every day had a different prompt, and I did it for 2 years. I didn't do the full 3, and I really enjoyed it. So that was my reasoning for coming back to this, because I have done it before and enjoyed it. So I think I'm going to get a new 5-year next year. So that's the 5-year. Let's have a look at my health journal. So I love this thing. It's so pretty. It's in the strawberry milk cover. So I've just got an art print in here and a journaling card in the back. So the cover itself, actually, let's take it out. I wasn't going to, but I think I will. Oh my goodness, that's where my tweezers are. So I bought myself this cover. It was the very first Hobonichi cover that I bought, because it's pink, like super pretty, and it's red on the inside, which is also, I love pink and red together. And then when I got it, I just found it a bit kind of bulky, and you know, this is the actual journal, so it's quite small and compact, and I just found putting it in here didn't make sense to me. But now I absolutely love it. I just love it in there. So, you know, your moods and your preferences change over time, don't they? So this is exactly the same as the other one. It is an A6 English planner. The Japanese version has a cream cover, not the black cover. and it's paper, not this kind of leather look as well. So it's exactly the same on the inside. Didn't decorate anything at the beginning. I just jumped straight into, and I started on this day, Wednesday the 23rd of February. I went straight into my health journal layout, which is heavily inspired by my friend's show, and we track the weather. She tracks a few different things to me, but these are the things that I track. So the weather at the top, and then how I slept, and so I use a sticker for every one of these categories. Any kind of exercise or movement that we did, and why or why not we did or didn't do it. Something about the health, so medication, any medications that I took that day, what I ate that day, what I drank that day, because I'm trying to drink more water, as we all are, and then what did I do for myself. So self-care kind of one at the end. And this has been, there's a few days that I've missed, but on the whole, this has been a very successful journaling exercise for me. You can see it's pretty full of everything that's happened. Okay, a few empty pages here in June. Like I said, June was a bit mental, but I picked it up again, and I'm still in it. So this is the 22nd of August. I'm a little bit behind because today's the 27th, and I may not make that up, but I've been really sick post-COVID, so I haven't had the energy to do this. So it doesn't matter though, I'll just restart it on Monday, or today even, whenever I feel like it. So what I do in here is I just lay these stickers down, and I just adore this process, because I've got so many of these stickers. I've bought more since because I wanted them for specific categories. But I just go through and I lay these out. I have them all in categories in a sticker release book, so they're easy to grab. And I just put these down for a week, and then I've got the week ahead mapped out, ready to go. So yeah, this worked super well. I'm thinking about moving it to an A5 instead of the A6, and then adding some other stuff to that, but I haven't decided, and we'll talk a bit more about that when we get to the A5s. Two other books here in the A6 range. One is my Washi Swatch book. So this one isn't actually a Hobonichi at all. The cover is, obviously. This is the Doraemon cover from Hobonichi, and it's stunning. The silver is printed on the cover, so you can see that the silver there is printed on the clear part, but the Doraemon characters are all printed on this white cover. Inside is a very lovely yellow colour. It's a beautiful pastel kind of yellow. But in here I've put a Midori notebook, just a little A6, and I'm doing my washi swatches in here. So all my Coffee Monsters Co. at the front. Then I have my Create with Pen in the middle. I need to do some more of those. And I've also got my Sakura Mochi Design Co. ones here. I've got tons more to do, and I just do them whenever I feel like it. Like, it's kind of a relaxing thing. Oh, there's Every Minute a Story I missed as well. I've got heaps of Every Minute a Story. I've got so much of that to swatch. So, you know, it's like I said, a relaxing thing to do. So if I'm bored, I can just sit down and do that in front of the telly. So that's super cute. And then lastly in A6 is this gorgeous lilac leather cover. So this is one of the other options for you when you're purchasing a cover, is the leather, but it's very kind of compact. It has a pocket in the back. It's this beautiful pebbled leather. These are a little pricey as well. It's got the same butterfly closure. So if I didn't mention this already, this is, you can put your pen in both of those so that it holds it together and it won't open. Or obviously you can use it as two separate pen loops. So what I did for this one is I turned this into my, I think I called it my Book of Me. And the plan was to do my one little word in here. So my word was heart, and then I was just answering the prompts. This, I fell over, I didn't finish it. I still can, like I've paid for the class so I can just access it forever, but I just have not had the time. This is a Hobonichi Notebook, not a planner, so it's just grid pages. The grid page colours change, so here at the back it's purple. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera, but that's purple. And then we have a green section. We have a blue section, and then the front is a red section. So you can kind of section off your areas that you want to note in here if you wanted to. I don't. Mine is just simply there for me to just write. I'll show you the front of the book. So this is just the normal notebook from Hobonichi, and it's this hideous yellow colour. I really don't like this colour at all. It's yellow, it's got this kind of maroonish tape down the side. It does, however, lay flat. These are great books for that. I've got in the back here the A6 version of that same Doraemon pencil board that I showed you earlier. Yeah, look, all in all, just a fabulous little notebook. I've got a bunch of these used for a bunch of different things. And I usually just buy them just to have spares. These are using the same Tomorrow River paper, so it's the same paper that's in the journals and the planners. I just love it. So it has card slots down the side here. It has a pocket here. This here you can put the front of your notebook in, which I'm going to get rid of that yellow. And then in the back, we have a little pocket here as well as the secretarial pocket, and then your book flap goes in that back pocket there. So this is gorgeous. I absolutely adore this colour. It's just stunning. I have another one of my Uni 1 pens in here because they're my favourite pens, as I said earlier. And it's just a beautiful cover. This is just a stunning cover. I absolutely adore it. It's so pretty and the leather is gorgeous. It is compact, so you wouldn't be able to chunk things up quite as well in here. But that's okay. I mean, the point of this one, I think, for me, is to just have a beautiful, small, compact planner that you can take with you. So that is the A6 range. I'm hoping that gives you enough information to let you know whether or not that is a planner that is suitable for you. Okay, so let's move on to the A5s. Alright, so here is my A5 collection. Oh my goodness, so many things, hey? We've got one here that is a zippered planner, or a zippered cover I should say. This is Mina Pahonen as well. It does have the little butterfly on the leather pull. Zip around, as I said. This pattern is gorgeous, and this year it is being re-released in a standard cover. So the cover that looks like this, that opens with the butterfly pen loops. And I think that's much more preferable to me. I'm finding the zippers to just be a little restrictive for me in terms of how much I can put in here. Not this one. This one's actually working really well because I don't do a lot in here at this point. Unfortunately, I just haven't gravitated to this quite so much. I do, and I'll show you why in a minute, but not all the time. It has a big pocket at the back like the A6 does, but this one is all the way through. It doesn't open on the side here like the other one did. And in here I do have, this is a bit hard to take out because it's quite stiff from the from the paper. You can see it's the same as the other one. It's the Hobonichi Notebook. So this is not a planner, it's just simply a notebook. And I wanted to set this up for swatches, commonplace kind of stuff. So I've covered the liner pages here with this beautiful, beautiful paper. I've just done a bit of decoration here. You can see it's just the grid paper in here, no intro at all. And I just dove into using it. So this is like a sticker collage. Here's a Christmas card that Trish made for me after she watched this video. This was super fun to do. And then I was just using this to swatch pens in and things like that. I did another version of that collage, but in yellow. And then I kind of planned to do one a month, but I think this is as far as I got. I wanted to play around with the Sakura jelly pens from Hobby Hoppers, so I did that here. I played around with some paint and some stamping and things. This was when I was pretty new to using stamps. I mean, I've used them in the past, but I haven't really played in a long time, so that was me playing. I swatched some massive washi tapes. I do a lot of fountain pen swatching in here. I did ink swatching with this super cool stamp, also from Hobby Hoppers. Bunches of washi tape, all sorts of washi tapes, look at that. And again, more ink stamping and stuff in here as well. So this is, you know, if you just want to collect stuff together that you're kind of trying to, oh, very nice, that you're trying to just keep a record of, then this is a great place to do it. Also, if you wanted to try things out on the Tomoe River paper, this is also a good way to do it. These books are fairly inexpensive compared to the planners, and it's the same paper. So you could use this as a bullet journal, rule this up however you wanted, or do like I've done and just use it as swatching. It's super pretty in this cover. This is leather interior as well. It's got the mesh pocket here. This is a cute little tassel tag. This is a cute little tag that Trish made for me. It's very, very sweet. And yeah, the pockets are great. Everything is cool in here. This is a great book. And I absolutely love this cover. So I'm a little bit tempted. I think it's the 5-year cover that they've released in this fabric for next year, and it's in my cart. I need to sort my cart out. But yeah, the zipper is great for, I love it for this because it's, I can throw ephemera in here, and I have done like papers and tickets and all sorts of things. Just let them float around in there, and it doesn't matter because it's zipped up. You can't do that in the others, of course, because it will fall out. But if I want to make a chunky book, like if I chunk that any further, it's probably not going to go, right? And that A6 one that I showed you earlier, it actually wouldn't close anymore with my journal in it. So, all right, let's move on to the standard covers, I guess. This one is my favorite, I think. It's just pink. Lilac, I guess you could say. I'll just take this out of the front for a second to show you. So it's this beautiful pinky lilac. It's just a gorgeous colour. It's showing up very pale on camera, and it is quite pale, but not quite that pale. And then I've got the Eric cover on here. Eric's my favourite little character, so he features on a few of my planners because I just adore him. So it protects the fabric underneath as well, right? These standard plain colour covers have this pocket in the back here that you can slip things in, but the clear cover on covers that are patterned don't have a slit to access the pocket. The A6 version that I had earlier, it's a clear one, so it doesn't have a pattern on it. It's just plain, and you can see here it does have a zip opening that allows you to access that pocket on the back. So if you wanted to access the pocket with the clear cover on, then you would need to get the non-patterned clear cover on cover. Okay, so inside this one is a beautiful grey. This one, I don't know if it's still available this year actually. So this one is housing my cousin. We see all the same kind of pockets down the side as you saw before, but at the bottom is kind of extended into 2 pockets here and a bigger smile pocket that actually fits business cards in very nicely. So this one is my Hobonichi cousin. This one is for work. I've got my Ollie clip here, just clipping off where I was up to. But I'll just show you what the cousin looks like. This is the Japanese version because there was only a Japanese version in 2022. In 23 there will be an English version. So we have our title page here. We have our monthly, our yearly overview, I should say. So this is 2022 here. There was 2021 here and 2023 here, but I've used this kit from Arabea to convert it to English instead of Japanese, and it comes with this option of having a sticker to put here to cover up the 2021 calendar because most of us don't need the 2021 calendar. So I just love the pink in here. It's very pretty. I don't really need to have the English version, but it doesn't hurt and it's pretty. So In the same kit, sorry, Arabea also sells these covers to make these in English as well. So it gives you the days of the week in the month, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, etc. And the covers for the top here as well for the months. You can see I didn't use this tracking overview kind of section at all this year. We then move into the month, so it starts with December, and as the others all do, it goes all the way through. Here's August. I'm actually using this as a monthly planner now. It goes all the way through to March of the following year, and then moves straight into a weekly spread. And this one started on the 27th of December. So the weekly spread is super cool, and here's where I'm struggling this year with what to do for next year. Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. It has a little calendar on the side here and a sidebar where we can add whatever you like, and then it has the whole week, so all the weekdays of the week get the same size column, including Saturday and Sunday. And it has 5 a.m. here, 6, 7, 8, all the way through to 4 a.m. So it's a full 24-hour timeline for the day, which is fantastic for so many people. You can do the entire day. If you, like me, just work from 9 till 6, let's say, it's just this much of the day, then you can use the bottom for to-dos or for notes or meals or whatever you like. So let's find a spread that I can show you where I've used... Alright, let's show you this one. So this actually is the first one I set up in here. Yes, it is. And what I usually do is put a little spot for this week over here, and I can put the highlights of the week. I actually close this off for notes across the bottom from 8 p.m. onwards, and here I did a next week. So the idea was to put things that are happening next week. At the top, before the day starts, I put in anything important that was happening. I had a new staff member starting. This was Australia Day, and then I had these 2 days off. And because this is a work planner, I don't use Saturday and Sunday. I don't work on the weekend. So I set this column for emails and this column for calls. And then in the actual day of work, I've put in the meetings that I had, and then I've color coded them based on the type of meeting that it was, or whatever I was working on. So you can see I didn't use it for notes, or this week I didn't do any kind of planning in here, and there's a reason for that. But I do love this kind of layout. I really enjoy this layout. So I'm in a bit of a quandary this year for what to do, because I didn't really use it at all this year. I haven't used it hardly at all this year. I've done the planning, like I've done some planning in here. I did this cute spread, and I've done some actual planning and stuff in here. I'll come back to this kind of layout in a minute. But I don't know, I just found myself not really using it. Instead, what I was doing was using the daily pages. Now, unfortunately, this is my work planner, so I can't show you the daily pages. They're super confidential for work, but let's show you what they look like. We have a spot here that tells you the month and the date and the day of the week. We've got the moon. Then we have here from 6 a.m. till 3 p.m. with a spot here that could be 5 a.m. and 4 p.m. And of course you can extend it yourself. But it has a short timeline here. It has 5 kind of checklists at the top here, and then just open space. There's a kind of defining line here that separates the timeline from like a note section, and it ends here at the 3:30 p.m., which allows you this section as well. So you can very easily divide it all up into areas if you wanted to. What I do in here is just write across the whole page, and I write tons. So this has become like my perfect system, but it's just a notebook. It's a dated notebook. That's what it's become. So I started using the monthly section as proper planning. So no deco, but I've just mapped out, I put in all my meetings, everything that's happening for August, I've put in there. And then I skip the weeklies entirely, and I do the daily section. So this is where I'm now deciding what to do for next year, because I don't need the weeklies. However, I love the weekly layout. I love memory keeping in that section, and I'll show you some more about that in a minute. So this is, as I said, I think the Japanese version. So we have a Japanese quote at the bottom, a little calendar for the month here as well, and shows you what days you're on with a little outline. There is an English version of this coming in 2023, so we'll have an English quote. So I think what I'm going to do next year is buy the English of everything, just to try it out. Okay, at the back of the book, again, is similar to the others. The personal notes section, addresses, we've got gifts here, some stuff about some Japanese foods, all sorts of things in here that I can understand. And again, in the new book, they'll be in English. So I'll just flip through and show you what's here. And then right at the back, after December 31st, there's just a few notes pages. I'm not going to open that up because it's confidential for work, but it's just some blank note pages, just the grid. So that is the Hobonichi Cousin. I'm going to show you a couple more of these because this was my favourite planner for a long time. I've got a bunch of them. Let me show you this one. So this is the first one that I had, and it's before I understood the passion that I had for covers, and I just put it inside of this jelly cover from Messy Bun Creations, and I put the spots is paper from I can't remember where it's from actually, sorry, in the back there. So so the cover itself is that same yellow cover that you saw on this one, this kind of creamy colour with the Hobonichi name on it, and I've just covered it up with this vinyl sticky here. A few bits and pieces on the inside, not really much. But this is the 2021 version of the Cousin, and again I used the same kit from Arabea here, and the same in here. I did some tracking with the clean colour dot pens, but you know, I fall off with tracking. I know a lot of us do. We just fall over. Like I did this tiny bit here. It's ridiculous. And then we have our monthlies. If you just have a look at this grid setup, you've got a much bigger space in the Cousin for in the monthly section to actually do some proper planning if you wanted to. So I did that. It's a bit personal. I'm not going to share it. But I did that up until August 2021 I finished, but I didn't do anything in September really, and that's it. So, you know, the monthlies I don't really get to them. I kind of wanted to, but I didn't. So then again to the March of the following year, and then we have, I just put in this vellum that's was from my shop, and then we moved into the weekly spread, and I just loved this so much. This became my favorite thing, and it became the reason why I kept buying Hobonichi Cousins. So washi across the top, bit of washi here, track my sleep. This one was the very first spread that I did. I bought myself a Nintendo Switch Lite, and I put in my Animal Crossing highlights on the side here. It was very brand new. And then I've just used my favourite little character stickers to map out what I did for the day. I was IT support for my brother. I got on a plane. We had to wear a mask again. Did my nails. Cooked prawn and mango salad for dinner. My cousin came for morning tea. Like it was Christmas at home with my family, so I put down the movies that I was watching. This was just really fun to do, and I even did this bit, I think, in the airport even. And I did that for a long time. I'm just going to flip quite rapidly because again it's quite personal, but it was just for fun, like super good fun, and you see I kept up with it for so long. I started writing a bit more. I didn't do this one here, but I've done others afterwards. I just used it quite a bit. June. June is my failure, isn't it? I had no idea. It's COVID times as well, like 2021, mid-2021. It's just a bit difficult time, and I just fell off, and I started just putting in random bits and pieces instead. I went back to a bit of it here in August, September, and then I kind of fell over. What I was doing in the back So it's the same layout as I showed you before. It's the daily kind of thing. But I just put, this is kind of where I started doing that kind of creative journaling kind of stuff, you know. Nothing super dramatic, nothing really fancy, but that was here in the back. But also, let me see if I can just show you. Okay, so here's the spread I can share. This is the 6th of January and the 7th of January. And this is the exact layout that I started the year in. I would put washi tape at the top and bottom. I'd put a character sticker here and make some kind of little title. And I would write about the day. That's it. And what I found was what I was writing in here was pretty much the same as what was going in the weeklies. So, I mean, I did it for a long time, like a long time. I think, from memory, I went to visit my family, and on the way back we ended up in lockdown, and I had to leave early. That was in April, from memory, so I didn't get too far. I mean, I got to April. Yeah, let's see. So the last entry in here where I really wrote something was on the 30th of March. And then after that there's pretty much nothing. I did some pretty cute, where is it, here, some watercolour in here which I really enjoyed, and that was just to test out the paper, and it performed really nicely. But I never did anything again after that except for these couple of spreads. Here's a spread about only murders in the building. I did some quotes here that I wanted to be able to letter. Oh, and then, oh look, I forgot about this. Here's me planning what I was going to buy in the next Hobonichi release, because last year was in October, so this year it's a month early. So this is the Malia Kent one that I bought. This is the Ohio zip cover that I bought. Oh, this is cute. There's a little lilac cover and the marshmallow. That's the name of that pink one that I've got. Some video ideas as well. So, you know, I kind of just I think I got overwhelmed with trying to fill out my emojis in the monthly section, my weekly memory planning, and then, you know, a whole page of writing for the diary section, you know, the dailies. So that's why I moved to A6 in the following year. I just thought that the A5 was just far too much space, and what I found though was I was really missing the weeklies. So, and I have just missed the weeklies this year. Alright, so I also have this cousin, and this one is housed in a natural leather cover, and this is actually a 5-year cover as well. So, if you can tell by this discoloration here, the planner itself only reaches to there because it is much smaller than a 5-year. So again, I've got it in a jelly cover, and I put it in the jelly cover simply because it made it big enough to fit in here and not move around. That's the only reason I've got the jelly cover. So this is natural leather. It's just stunning. It smells amazing. It's patinaing up nicely, as you can see. So it was this color when I bought it, and it's become this beautiful natural aged color here. And I used this a lot in 2021. So in 2021 I had a cousin for journaling and I had a cousin for work. So this is the work one. I was color coding my months. I did a little bit of tracking, but not much. And then I did use the monthly section a little bit. I stopped, of course, as I always seem to do. And then in the weeklies, I decided to keep no deco. I mapped out all of the events for the week, meetings, etc. And I also tracked my time that I spent on emails and things like that. So it became quite a really detailed look at the week. I had things that I had to do over here, notes across the bottom, this week and a next week on the side. And I kept that basic layout for quite a long time, and it worked really nicely. This is probably the best I ever did in my cousin. My job changed pretty dramatically. On my birthday week I decorated. So yes, this was really quite a successful book. I kind of went off and on a little bit when my job changed. So my job changed in August, and I became the national sales and marketing manager. And so I don't know, I changed the way my days changed. Yeah, it's funny. So one thing I need to mention as well, if you can see on my tabs here, it starts in April. So this was a spring start. I think it tells you here. Yeah, Hobonichi Cousin 2021 spring. So Hobonichi does release in September for January release. So they would all start in January. But then they also do in Feb, I think, a release. So I got a new planner in January because I could, so I moved into that one, stopped using this. But I did use the dailies quite a bit just for notes, and you know, that works pretty well. So there's a lot of options for you, I think, when deciding what to use the planners for. Yeah, so lots of options when using a cousin. It's really the most comprehensive of all of the planners because it has monthly, weekly and daily planning options, and you can really get very granular in what you're doing. You have to be, in my opinion, you have to be quite committed. I have become pretty, what's the word? I've become a little complacent, I guess, with the planning side of things, and I'm noticing it in terms of how organised I am at work. I used to be so organised, and just in the last couple of months, that's fallen off. And I think that's because I'm not doing my weekly plan. So I'm trying to decide for next year whether to stick with a cousin and do the weekly plan and then capture my notes in the dailies, or if I should move to an A6 and not have the weeklies at all, and just have monthly for planning and then the dailies for notes. And what I'm thinking if I did do that is that I would actually use, I would actually use this as a planning page instead. So imagine it's this in the A6 size. It has the little timeline on the side. I was thinking I would use the timeline for my appointments. You know what, let's move to an A6 to talk about that instead. So maybe this is a good time for us to compare the size. So it is quite a bit smaller, right? So this is A6, is half of an A5. And the amount of space that you have is quite different. So in the English version of the planner, you don't get the checklist at the top, and the timeline is quite shortened, just simplified, I should say. But it doesn't mean you can't make a timeline down the side for yourself. So I'm kind of tossing up between sticking with this big A5 book or moving to this, having no weekly plans, just having daily plans, using these pages for plans and to-dos only, and then having another book, like just a normal A6 notebook, to take notes in meetings or whatever. So what I currently do is take this with me to every meeting, but I don't ever reference the calendar section in meetings, right? There's no real need for that. So what I'm thinking is I could either, two things, I could have this on my desk as my planner and just take a notebook to the meetings, and I could even use an A5 notebook instead of an A4, instead of the A6, just for space. Or one thing we haven't talked about, because I don't have it, is all of these books are available in what's called the Avec version, which is where the book is split in two. So it's a January to June and then a July to December. So two separate books, much skinnier. They're more like this kind of size, maybe a little bit thicker. And that way I could, in one of these style book covers, I could pop the planner version in one side. This is a bit too big, but I could pop the notebook in that side. So then you have two books together to carry around, but one of them is a calendar and one of them is notes. I'm really kind of leaning towards that. I've really narrowed it down to the two options, either the Avec with a notebook in one cover, or two books, an A5 and an A6. The A6 for planning and the A5 for notes. Haven't decided, need to decide by Thursday. Alright, so that's the cousin. Hopefully that gives you a nice rundown. And I have one more book here to show you. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. I absolutely love it. It's just so lovely. And I've got a couple of pens in the pen loops here. Inside is brown, as you can see. I've got a few bits and pieces, cute things in here. But this again is a Midori notebook that I have in here. So you can see the Midori A5 and A6 can fit in here as well because they're exactly the same dimensions. And what I'm using this for, actually let's see. What I'm using this for is taking notes in YouTube training videos, like videos to teach you about content creation and things like that. So I've got a few notes in there so far. It's kind of like an education notebook for myself. So that's what I'm using that one for. And yeah, I find just having a notebook inside a cover just makes me happy. So that's the A5 version from Hobonichi. There's one more thing that I wanted to show you while I have you with me today, and that is the drawer pouches. So I have 3 Hobonichi drawer pouches with me here today. I've got 2 of the large ones, and then I have what's called the Anne pouch as well. So let's have a look at this one first. This is the lace. It's so beautiful. It's kind of linen on one side and then lace overlaid over the linen on this side. It has a pocket at the back, and then inside is grey, and it's just a pouch just full of pockets. 2 big pockets here, a large pocket here, smaller pockets, tiny ones down the side there, a zippered one in the middle, and then on the other side we have the mesh pocket and then an open space. I use this just to store all of my clear stickers, all of my cute fun stickers. We've got overlays here, I've got washi, I've got sticker flakes here, all of my Lovely Mind stuff. I've got, oh my goodness, that's where my Coffee Monsters Co pocket got to. I've got, you know, these pockets, seals, all sorts of die cuts, so much stuff in here that I just can use for deco in, and it's kind of planner deco, I feel. In the smaller Anne pouch, it's basically exactly the same, but it's my more minimal stuff. So for the kind of vintage journaling, it's the Peon Girls, like the stamps. We've got papers, this kind of vintage paper. I've got all my tiny dots, these cute little Aesthetic Studio stickers, just more minimal stuff. I kind of just wanted to separate the cutesy kawaii stuff from the minimal stuff, and so I just decided to put them in 2 different pouches. These are really cool. I really enjoy them. And then I have one more here which is currently not being used, and I don't actually know why. It's cats, so it's called the Whiskers Pouch. It's got these cute little raised whiskers with little bits of fabric, and again a pocket in the back. And then, oops, this one is pink on the inside, and I actually was using this in my handbag to carry. Well, I've got a mirror in here and some band-aids, but actually it was chockers. It was so full. I've emptied it because I bought a new handbag and I bought a pouch that matches the handbag, so I've moved everything into that one. There's actually a video on that. But it had tissues and, you know, paracetamol, hand sanitizer, lip balm, hand cream, all that kind of stuff I put in here. Stuff that you would take around with you. For everyday, you know, supplies. I've put all of that in here, and that was a really cool way as well. But now that I'm not using it for that, I think I'll go back to using it for journaling or something like that. I really love that one as well. Okay, I think that's it. That's my rundown of all the bits and pieces that well, it's everything that I have from Hobonichi. I might just show you what's my current in terms of what I use every day at work and home. Okay, so this is what's in my current kind of everyday sort of lineup at home, or in general. So I have the commonplace book for swatches and things like that. I have my work planner, which is my just workhorse work planner. I just love it. And then I have my journal, my creative journaling journal, which is just a nice little outlet. I have the Weeks, so this is the one that I just do daily journaling in, and I'm thinking about doing the 5-year next year instead. And then my health journal. These are the main ones that I reach for pretty much every day. This is definitely every day at work, like every weekday. These two live together, and I do tend to do those together at night time on the couch when I'm watching telly. I'll just write a little bit about the day in here, and then I'll fill out the food, drink, self-care, movement, sleep, etc. in here. Often I do the sleep in the morning when I get up, and then I do everything else later in the day. So they're the main ones, and then added to that are these three. So for fun, creative journaling in the portrait style in the Weeks. My book of me, if you like, for one little word and other, those kind of those kind of personal development sort of things. And then of course my Washi Swatch book. I do love my Washi Swatch book as well. That's kind of the main everyday things that I use, and it's kind of what I want to keep for next year. Like, for example, I'm not going to buy another notebook for a commonplace book. For starters, I have a bunch of notebooks in the cupboard. I bought a ton of them last year just for fun. I will replace my work planner with a new work planner, but I'm considering making it this kind of a layout. So I'd have a small planner, which would be an A6 planner that would have monthlies and dailies, and then an A5 size notebook, which would just be a notebook for taking notes, obviously, in meetings and things. So it'd be something like that going together to do that job. And these three journals, planners, covers go together just beautifully. They're just stunning. I'm definitely, almost certainly going to have an A6 for journaling. Pretty sure, not 100%, because I am also art journaling now in a totally different book. In my art journal kit that I think that you may have seen on my channel. So I really think this will stay, because this is more about journaling about things that are happening, and sticking in ticket stubs and packaging and things like that, happy mail, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like this kind of has a very different purpose to art journaling. So I will keep that in one way or another. I will keep the health journal. So and if that stays in this A6, probably will. I can't really think of another way to do that. The Weeks is too small for it, and the Cousin's too big for it. So it most likely will stay in A6. The Washi Swatch book is just for fun, so it'll stay how it is. And then the Weeks is the other thing. Like, will I still need this if I add a 5-year to the lineup, and that becomes my day-to-day journaling? I don't really need the Weeks anymore. But I still have the creative fun one, which is not full, and I can happily continue in there and not be bothered about the dates. Like, the dates don't bother me. So many options, so many choices. Like I said, I touched on, I don't know if we talked about it a lot, I can't really remember now, but this weekly layout in the Cousin, if you remember the super cute version that I did in my original Cousin, where I stickerate the whole thing, and it's kind of back decorating, if you like. It's about memories, not about what's going to happen. That's the only thing that I feel like I'm missing if I do what I said before, which is have a planner and a notebook together rather than having the cousin. So that's the quandary that I'm in. Like, what do I do in that respect? I'm really not sure. I haven't decided. Also, carrying around 2 books seems a bit much, you know, a bit heavy. So I'm really not sure about what to do on that side of things. I haven't decided, and I need to decide rapidly. One thing I haven't mentioned is that, of course, I have my Passport Traveler's Notebook, which has become my favourite little thing at the moment. And in there I'm doing personal planner, just in passport size. Personal planner, but very much just about events and birthdays and things like that. So it's just to remind me of things. And then I have another insert in there, which is for me at the moment. What I'm using it for is to plan out my planners. Like, I'm writing in there about this stuff and about what I want to do next year. I really want to get the system right. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if we can ever really get the system right, because we see things all the time. People come up with new ideas and they seem to make a lot of sense, and I like to try new things all the time. It's something that I really enjoy, especially in planning and journaling. I really like to try new things out. It just keeps it interesting. Yeah, I'm just keen to give anything a go. I really am not sure how next year's going to go, but I need to decide before Thursday. So let me know what you think. I'm going to try to get this video up on Sunday, the 28th or whatever of August. Let's see. Yeah, Sunday the 28th is when I want to make this live, because I really want to have a chat with you guys in the comments about what you think for the next year. Like, what are you going to do? What are your plans? Are you doing something like this for work now and having similar struggles to me, like weekly, monthly, and daily all in the one book? Is it too much? One thing I didn't mention as well is the notes are fantastic, but it can be hard to find them because it's not an indexed system in any way. And I know I could use the yearly pages for an index, and maybe that's something I should consider for next year. But I'm so on the go in my job that I don't really have a lot of time for reflection, which I really miss, actually. I want to try to make some of those changes. I've been talking about that for a long time. But I'm having a few changes at work at the moment that things should change up a little, and I'm hoping that gives me time for that reflection that I'm looking for. Alright guys, this has become a mammoth video, so if you're still with me at the end, thank you so much for being here. Leave me some pink hearts in the comments if you are here right at the end. I'd like to see who you are. And yeah, let me know what you think I should be doing next year. I'm super keen to hear what you think. I will make the decision myself in the end anyway, but and I'll buy some things just because they're cute. Like that, don't hold that against me. I just really enjoy this stuff. It's a hobby of mine as well as something that helps me stay organized and on track, and in the case of the journaling, keeps me sane. Well, relatively sane. So yeah, there's things I'll pick up just because they are super cute. I want to show you as well. Like, part of what I do here on YouTube is show you things that you may not want to buy yourself until you've seen someone else using it. I feel like that's something that I can do for you, and I'm happy to do because I really enjoy unboxing and looking through things, reviewing and setting them up. I love setting them up. That's one of my favorite things, and it's such a good feeling, right, to be at the start of a new planner, and all of this opportunity is ahead of you. You know, there's so much you could do, and that's a great feeling, and I think that's why many of us love to set up new planners. It's just so much fun. Okay, I think I've done enough talking for today. I will hand this over to you. I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments, and let's get chatting, because September 1st is very close. It's not far away at all. It's just a couple more days. Super excited. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and subscribe here on YouTube as well, because we're going to be unboxing a lot of Hobonichi stuff in the very near future. Plus, we've got the Traveler's Notebook things happening, and many other things as well. Art journaling, so much stuff. It's so much fun. Alright guys, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all again super soon. Bye!